What are your expectations for the trading day ahead?
Hi, Alishia. Morning. Well, relative to yesterday's activities, we saw the losing streak ease. The market lost only 32 basis points yesterday. Again, we have to point out that the losses have been pushed mostly by the banking sector, and within the banking sector, mostly the five banking stocks that have been affected by the initial CBN special audit. They have recorded the most losses over the last couple of days and still continue to drive the banking index down. Banking index sector movements have continued to drive general market activity, but we saw that loss ease yesterday. The market lost only 32 basis points relative to close to 100 basis points it's lost over the last previous days.
Well, just looking at what Japheth was saying a little while ago, I mean, the concern is completely around the banking arena at the moment. It's triggering much of the unease that we're seeing in the Nigerian market space right now, especially given the fact that we've got the final audit results still being anticipated out of the Central Bank of Nigeria. 14 banks still to be cleared. There's been a lot of speculation, though, that 3 of those 14 might well be insolvent. Any idea about who those banks could be?
Unfortunately, no. Until the results of that report is made public, we would not be privy to such information. I mean, the best we would know it's definitely one of the last 10. In terms of an outlook as to who they are, we really wouldn't be able to say. Although we do note the CBN's reports or announcements and pronouncements saying we are not going to see that much of a surprise, for the remaining 10. So if we keep on holding on to that, then we don't expect the situation will be as bad as the 5 we've seen so far.
Kimi, I just had a question for you. There's rumor that there could be more management changes that we could see. So do you have an idea which sort of banks could be affected?
Again, until we see the results of the reports, we wouldn't be able to name any names or say, oh, these are the banks. Only the results of that report will tell.
Well, certainly it's all of this, uncertainty that's still keeping investors very much tempered in their approach. But at the same time, we've seen a lot of bargain hunters creeping out of the woodwork, trying to take advantage of the opportunity. So, Japheth, where would you be looking in terms of portfolio investment at the moment?
Basically, I'll still go back to the banking sector. Personally, what I believe is that we do have banks that are basically undervalued, just based on the fact that they were more punished than any of the other sectors because of what has been happening, because of the approach the CBN governor basically took to deal with the sector. So personally, I think it will basically be, going back to the banking sector, because when you look through the valuations, 2010 valuations basically, that's where you should be putting money.
Exactly. Well, in the meantime, we know that local investors, Kemi, have been very focused on the consumer stocks specifically. What's your view on the consumer sector space at the moment, where we've seen Nigerian breweries, GlaxoSmithKline, Unilever, Nestle, and even Nigerian Bottling Company really doing pretty well in the current context?
Very true, Alishia. While there's been so much volatility in the banking sector, there's been sort of a flight to safety to the non-financials, and true, the consumer goods sector has been a major taker of that. Key stocks there actually I will start from the cement sector. Very strong value there in terms of BCC, WAPCO, and more recently CCNN following the release of their results, and we understand a change in ownership, which we believe has impacted on the kind of results we've seen at half year. Moving to the more food-related sectors, where we look at Unilever, like you've noted. We're actually also looking at flour mills. Even though we're expecting their full-year results, it's more than overdue. Their Q1, their full year ends March, and that's due. Their Q1 is also due, and we're yet to see results from them. Even though they took some hits within their first 2008 financial year from exchange losses, it would be good to see if any of that has continued. And where that hasn't, then it's a company that has very strong value. It's very well diversified. It's contributions to turnover are from the cement sector, as well as from the flour sector, pasta and products like that. So we also expect very strong value, but that's pending, the kind of results that we see from them. Other companies also include GSK, which seems to have done very well, even though the operating environment has been very challenging. Their Q1 results were very strong, and we expect to see that continue into the 2009 financial year.